I'm Carlton Sampson here with the red hot emerging author Earle Streets. Good to have you here, Earle Streets. Can I call you Earle? Can I call you Streets?
Man, you can call me anything you want, brother, man. You know, you can call me Earle, you can call me Earle Streets, you can call me E, you can call me anything you want, man. It's always love, man.
Okay, I think I'll just stick with Earle.
Okay.
So, Earle, when did you fall in love with writing?
With writing?
Yeah.
Man, I'm really about to date myself here, man, but like my mother's nephew, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, cause I'm the oldest boy out of all my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother's nephew, he's older than me by like 8 years, you know, so like he was like my big brother,
mm-hmm.
you know, and because like my parents were in the military, we were always, you know, Okinawa, Japan, California, you know, and the rest of the families in New York. So it's like we had to write a lot of letters. So I used to write letters to my cousin all the time, because, you know, he was like my big brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, you know, getting into, you know, school and whatnot, you know, you got to write papers, book reports. And then my mom and my pops, like, they used to do this thing, like, whenever I wanted a snack,
mm-hmm.
like, I want some cookies, I want some Kool-Aid, I want something, you know, they like, man, I need you to read 3 books out of this, you know, 3 pages out of this book and write a report.
Mm.
And it's got to be good.
Man, so that gives true meaning to we'll work for food.
Yeah, we'll work for food, you know, like I had one of those households, you know, like, I mean, it was crazy, man. That was how my love for literature, you know, grew.
So tell us about this new book that you dropped, and you know, go starting from the title and why you called it.
Well, it's not dropped yet. I'm looking to drop it in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, around beginning of holiday season. So, you know,
okay.
Definitely after Halloween, but before Thanksgiving. I'm looking to drop it then.
Okay.
However, it's one part of a 4-part series called the Urban Chronicles, and the title of this particular piece is Politics as Usual.
I like it. Elaborate on that.
Well, all right. Well, number one, this is a piece of, you know, grit fiction. Like, this is urban fiction along gritty lines. You know, so we're more or less it's following this kid named Timber, you know, and it's showing his evolution growing up as, you know, coming out of the foster care system, you know, and once he comes of age or whatnot, you know, the system can't provide for him no more. He's on his own. So he more or less he tries to find his way, and he ends up taking on a mentor who's in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's grooming him to like take over his business, street business.
Right.
And you know, Temple meets different people throughout his process. So, but this guy he meets becomes like a father figure to him. So it's like, so when he meets his girl, I ain't gonna tell you too much, but it's the man. He learns some things, man.
You just gonna leave us at the cliffhanger when he meets his girl. This is the best part.
Because I don't want to give it away, man. I don't even want to give it away, man. But just know that it shows the evolution, you know, of the forgotten. You know, this is the evolution of the forgotten. People that fall through the cracks and whatnot. You know, and how they navigate their ways to either find their way out of the crack or sink deeper into it.
Does this book reflect you in any way, shape, or form?
It reflects a mind state that I used to have, you know, and sometimes I still do have, but, you know, it's in check, you know, like, so after emerging from that mind state, you know, I decided, how am I going to make some money? How am I going to make some money? I can write. I can create images through writing. Let me write some books.
What or who influenced you the most as far as writing? Any authors, any you know, producers? You know, Tyler Perry, Spike Lee's, perhaps.
Well, let's see. Definitely Spike Lee.
Okay. Definitely
Spike Lee. I love the stories he tells because they're real Afrocentric.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and but that's on the film aspect. Now we won't go to like literature, you know, books and everything. Let's say first I gotta say is, you know, Robert Beck. You know, and most people don't know who Robert Beck is. You know, that's Iceberg Slim, you know, like Iceberg Slim, you know, and Donald Goines, because they're pretty much this genre that I'm in, you know, urban fiction, but the gritty urban fiction,
mm-hmm.
you know, this has been done. This genre has been alive, going on like 80 to 100 years. Mm-hmm. You know, we had writers like Claude McKay, Rob Ellison, you know, that wrote books that was like gritty for their time, you know, and then it's like the genre just, you know, fizzled. And then in the 60s and the 70s, you know, Donald Goin, Iceberg Slim, they came, they revived it. You know, they revived the genre. And then it died again in the 80s. And then it's like in the 90s, you had your authors coming out like Terry Woods and Vicky Stringer, you know, and you had Shannon Holmes, you know, and you know, you had these people, Wahida Clark, who came out, you know, New Millennium, post 2000 or whatnot. But you had these people coming out, and they took it to a whole nother level. Instead of just being authors, I'm inspired by them more or less, because instead of being authors, they were business people first, then authors.
I like it. That's man, he just dropped a whole lot of history. For those who are getting into writing, take note of this. But before I let you go, please tell us, what advice would you have for young African American men, you know, looking to get into the career, whether it's writing or anything else?
Well, I can only really speak towards writing, and this has truly been a path. I'm not going to say I'm in it. I'm getting in it, you know, because I haven't published and I haven't dropped it yet. So I'm not going to say that I'm there yet. But it's a process. I'm at the mountaintop. You know, I'm looking at the promised land, right? Okay. So for those who are looking to get into it, I'm going to tell them, one, it's not easy. It is a process. Second.
Hold on, before you go to second, explain the process.
Man, first off, you gotta write. You know what I mean? First off, you gotta write. And sometimes, man, when your homeboys is like, yo, we going to the club, you know, and you're like, yo, I wanna go, you know, and you sitting there and you only got 2 words. You only got 2 words written, like, you know, like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That's all you got on your screen. Yeah. And your man's is like, yo, let's go to the clubs, pop some bottles, and you want to go with them. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Nah, you need to be at home. You need to be writing. That ain't even the hardest part. It gets harder once you're done writing, and now you have to package. You have to package it. So you advertising, promotion. You know, you actually have to go through the process of publishing it, getting it on shelves, getting it on Amazon, formatting for ebooks. You know, it's work, you know, but books are they're living, breathing entities. Like, a book is a life. It's not like CDs, it's not like movies where, you know, we gotta cram everybody in these movie theaters when it first come out. A book drops, nobody might know it dropped. Like, nobody will get it, right, at the first. But once you start getting people reading it, it may be by the time your 4th book drops, now people are checking for you. Now they want to come back and get this first one. So books do better over time versus like movies. And it's work, though. It is work. You're going to struggle. You're going to be broke. You know, like...
Starving artist.
Man, I'm starving right now. Like a slave with no mouth. But, you know, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, man. Everybody that I'm following as far as authors, they say the same thing. It's rough starting out, but, you know, the money's going to come. You just got to grind, put that hard work in.
I like it, appreciate it. Everyone, this is Earle Streets. You can call him E, you can call him Streets, you can call him Earle, whatever, it's all love.